Well, I was thinking about naming this video something than discussion slash rant from like aside from that series that I've created. But I mean, I guess you could consider it a rant. I mean, I was thinking about just covering season 9, but then I was thinking about just, and then I was like, nah, then it would be a pretty short video. So I was thinking about just covering mostly all the seasons that Fortnite's had, my like like my rating on the seasons. I wouldn't call it rating, but like what I liked about the seasons mostly, and what do I think of Fortnite nowadays. Well, anyway, it before I get started in this topic, I'd be appreciated if you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I don't normally ask this, so I'm just I'm asking like I don't y'all can subscribe. Like I said, I'm only asking you this once. Like, I mean, y'all don't have to subscribe, but still, I would appreciate it if you guys did. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's just get started in this topic. So, Fortnite. I got a lot to say about you, mostly about Epic Games, but I'll leave that for later. So you're probably wondering, when did I join up on Fortnite, or when did I start playing Fortnite? Well, this is a not really long story, but I started playing around season 2, mostly. And I was introduced to it by my friend, Rep 13 Shooter, which you've probably known him because he's appeared on my channel before. Shout out to Rep, that boy Rep. uh, anyway, season 2, it was actually pretty fun because I started, my friends were playing it, everybody was playing it. Season 2, well, not everybody. It was fun. I didn't get the battle pass for season 2, so it was fun. The game mechanics were really good. Um, which normally when you download a free game could be a hit or miss. Fortnite just, I guess it had that, like, I don't know, that spark to it where, you know, it's one of those games that is intriguing to the eye, if you get what I'm saying. So, fast forward a little bit, a few months, and then season 2 is about to end. So I was like, oh, dang. So they have more seasons, and then my friends are like, yeah, they have more seasons. So I was like, dang, I can't wait. Season 3 comes out, I get the battle pass. And let's just say that was the first battle pass I completed all the way up to 100. My friend Rep had season 2, but he didn't get to 100, so he didn't get the Black Knight. Kind of to this day, he kind of regrets not getting the Black Knight, but he told me personally it was hard to get uh XP, or just the leveling system was messed up, which I could see that being the case because it's the first season. Most people would say, well, what about season 1? Season 1 was not even hardly a season, so I don't count season 1. That was just the start of the game. Season 3, on the other hand, I feel like most people agree that season 3 was the climax of the season. Well, to me, it was the climax. And then I'm guessing season 4 also was the climax for me. Well, almost. It was almost up there with season 3, but I'll get more into that. So most people do agree that season 3 is the climax of the seasons. Now, if you don't agree, then that's your opinion, you know? If you don't agree season 3 is the climax of the climax of the seasons, then that's your opinion. I totally agree with you. So season 3 introduced a space theme, which, is not that bad. Space is a particular theme, and usually if a series is using it, then that means it's dying, but Fortnite did it in a way where it was actually pretty creative. What guns did they add I think they added the hunting rifle in. I'm not really sure. A good gun, still used to this day. Hasn't really changed that much. It hasn't been bought in. But a fact here, well, at least something I've found, is in Save the World they have a scoped hunting rifle, which I don't know why they don't bring that over. That would be a great weapon alongside like a gold tier weapon, like it just has a scope on it, and the firing rate, like it's like automatic, or not automatic. That'd be too OP to be honest. But you know, sometimes you got to give the hunting rifle a little love, you know. But that's besides the point. It was season 3 was space themed, mostly. And then the tier 100 skin was basically John Wick. Now, if you don't know who John Wick is, just look him up. Guy's complete. He's a complete. I don't know what. I can't say the word, but you know, you guys get it. He is a boss. He will literally. He's a literal assassin. So just if you don't know who John Wick is, you should know by now. There's been 3 movies. That's all I'm gonna say. But the skin was entitled Reaper because I'm guessing they didn't want to get like. Basically, they didn't want the people who made John Wick to come after him, I guess, which you know seems reasonable. And basically, oh, basically, it was a fun season overall. Uh, Fast forward to like near end season, we just start seeing people start seeing these meteorites shooting out of the sky. Now, a lot of people speculated that Tilted was going to be destroyed. Heck, I even thought Tilted was going to be destroyed. So, season 4 comes out, and the trailer shows a meteorite hitting a particular spot. And it wasn't Tilted, it was Dusty. Dusty Depot. And Factory. The original Factory, if y'all don't know what that is. So, yeah. A lot of my friends were not happy that they were not happy that factories and well, a lot of people were happy Dusty Depot was gone because a lot of people just landed there. But problem is that most of my friends did not like Tilted, and they kind of wanted that to be destroyed. Well, we'll get to that. So mostly now that Dusty Depot's gone, the major landing spots was Salty, Tilted, Retail, and yeah, I think that was it. I don't know, to be honest. It's kind of hard going off recollection. Season 4, I'd say it was a fun season. I wish I actually took that season seriously, because then I would have got the Omega skin. It was a pretty cool skin. Most people nowadays, like, who have the Omega didn't even get to complete the Omega challenges because they said it was super hard or something. I don't know what it was, but most people did not get the Omega final skin. I could see that. Tier 100 skins are hard to unlock. Mostly, you have to outlive. Nowadays, you have to outlive people, get XP, and it's like, why does that XP not just carry over? Like, think about it. Wouldn't it be better if the XP just carried over, or like when you're doing stuff in season? But I guess the reason they do that is because then it just takes all the challenge away from getting the skin, and it makes it feel like it wasn't worth getting it or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I could say that about another tier 100 skin, which they completely I'd say gave us the short end of the stick. I don't wanna say it, but I'll leave it for later. So anyway, during season 4, there was a whole event around Dusty Divot. Everybody was speculating like what was the thing in the rock. Most people said it was most people thought it was an egg or something. I forgot what it was, to be honest, what people said. But I speculated that there was a robot in there. Something in there. Like a person or something. And I actually was right. Because with the Blockbuster skin they gave out that season. Which he had a big role to play in the season where he basically, I guess he just went home. Then the whole fiasco, the whole fiasco only started because the TVs around the map started showing stuff on them, like a timer, a clock, basically a countdown timer. If you would recall that there was a clock, basically a clock on the TVs that were counting down, and it all ended up with a rocket launch near the end of the season. Now, I will mention this. I'm kind of glad that they have made the events in separate modes than in game, because there was a big fiasco with a guy who got 45 kills during an event when people were building up, which, you know, in Fortnite you should never trust another person. And if you do, then that's on you, buddy, you know. Anyway, there's a whole fiasco, and I guess Epic took into account that basically, you know, maybe we should put these game modes in separate, like, put them in different modes, like, you know, like how they have them nowadays, which I do not, I do credit them for that. Because, not only were most people who died during that event, I was one of the people who died, and it sucked. It really did suck. It was fun, but, you know, it kind of sucked because people were just killing each other. I think Epic should have took account for that, you know? Now, I don't know why they didn't take account back then. They knew people were just gonna start killing each other, or maybe they should have just put it to where you couldn't kill each other. And that would have been great. And they did it. They actually started doing that near season 7, or the end of season 7, I'd say, which was great. So anyway, fast forward, the rocket launch happens, and it ends up being that there's this gigantic thing in the sky. Like, it looks like, I speculated it was a world tree, like showing like multiple, like I got it from Norse mythology, okay? With like Odin and all that. I got it from there. Basically, the world tree is like, shows all of the places, like stars, you know, all that. Now, I know that's not what it means, but I'm trying to give a brief summary, okay? I mean, we're all human here, so, you know, we're all gonna make mistakes eventually. If you know, yeah. So, besides that point, after season 4 ends, season 5 ends, and I took season 5 a little bit more seriously than 4. Don't know why. I guess that was just me. So season 5 was pretty good. They introduced the rift system, where basically you go in a rift, pop a rift, and you'll basically be able to glide somewhere else. Thought that was an interesting mechanic. I was glad they added them in, and they're still in the game to this day, I think. I'm pretty sure they are. No, yeah, yep, they are. Because last week I went into one. Or actually a few days ago I did. So yeah, I always thought the rift mechanic was an interesting thing, and I was thinking maybe this will tie into something a lot more interesting later on, I guess in the series. Which, I don't know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Anyway, it all focused around a character named Drift, or basically a skin named Drift. And he basically was teleported from our world, or basically, yeah, our world, the real world, to Fortnite. He started hanging out with Bright Bomber and all that. And then Kevin appeared, and they found Kevin, and then Kevin made like a evil version of Bright Bomber. And then like it zapped, I think, the T-Rex guy. I don't know. Rex is his name. Rex Jonesy. I thought that was a funny loading screen. But that's also a battle pass I didn't get to 100. And I think that season they had Ragnarok, which he looked okay, but you know, he wasn't all that, if you get what I'm saying. Others might disagree. Others might not. I just was not interested in tier 100 skin for season 5 in any way. So, yeah. What the heck? Oh, no. Well, anyway, season 5 well, had the event with Kevin. Now, I didn't get to this event. I never got to do the event. The reason is because I just was not noticed that the event was happening, and basically Kevin was traveling around the map. I knew about that. I just didn't know what the cube was all about, to be honest. So Kevin was traveling around the map. I think each update, yeah, each update he was traveling around the map until he landed at Loot Lake. Now, once he landed in Loot Lake, he kind of dissolved, went into the lake, and the lake became like a bounce pad, or like it became like bouncy. And after that, multiple people started killing each other. You get the point. Uh, Fast forward, and that was that season's event. Fast forward to like season 6. Season 6, I did not take seriously either. Well, there was one skin I was going to try to get, but then the season ended, and you guys get the point. So, yeah. That season, I really just didn't take seriously. The tier 100 skin felt like they stopped being creative. Like, it was just a dude who turned into a werewolf, and it's like, I guess he's okay, but it's like, really? For a tier 100 skin? Like, he could have been like a tier 70, tier 80, somewhere around that line. But I guess it's because of the season's theme, but I felt like they could have done something like, more creative. But still, it's an okay skin, I'd say. Not as good as I thought it would be. And the whole season kind of focused around werewolves. Oh dang. Werewolves, basically, and then, well, not werewolves, but basically Halloween theme, I guess. You could say that's what you could probably say. And it was not that bad. The first few skins that you get was not that bad. And yeah, like I said, it was not that bad of a season. It's just I didn't take it seriously. But Kevin still moved around the map, except with Loot Lake, and he was kind of turning Loot Lake into like, or the house on Loot Lake into like these like other cubes that was forming in the house. And Kevin was actually shocking, like giving his power to like these like little ruins, and then to the point where the house split apart into pieces, went back to Loot Lake. The ruins, if you got near a ruin, I guess they'd do the same thing that Kevin did, where it'd be low gravity. Where yeah, it'd be low gravity, and then basically I think the ruins gave back the power or something, and then Kevin started losing his power, uh, which ended in the event of season 6, which I actually if you haven't seen, I've actually did that on my channel. There is a season 6 event on the channel, which you could watch my reaction to it, which I thought was a pretty cool event. Now I didn't want to get killed, so I perched up on one of the mountaintops. Uh, and at that point I was wearing different skins that I thought looked cool. And Kevin exploded. We went into like I'd say the afterlife, but not really afterlife. The between, I guess that's what it's called, or the gateway. I don't know what it's called. Something like that. The in between or the gateway. And that's when we met the little like rift butterfly, which was a cool event. And then we all went back to the map, and Kevin was now in pieces, which uh he lost all his power, and Yeah, that ended off season 6. Now, the teaser for season 7 was aimbot, which was a skin to tease season 7 off. Now, I hope you all know who aimbot is. Like, he's basically a robot skin that was introduced in season 6, but like I said, he was hinting towards season 7. And basically, when he went on the island, he basically, I'd say he showed, but not really showed. He basically teased, not basically the parachute teased what was going to happen. Like everybody was speculating, and then fog on one of the parts of the island just started to appear. Like fog started to appear like out of the map on one of the parts of the islands. And people were just saying, yeah, it's gonna be a snowy biome. Like if this one was like Halloween based, then this one's gonna be about more about Christmas or snowiness or whatever. Y'all get the point. So I was like, oh, cool. And the season 7 came, and I took that season seriously. I got tier 100. I got the Ice King. It was a pretty fun season. Most of my friends, it was actually hard because most of my friends did not have the battle pass. Uh, and they started dropping off from Fortnite. And I was like, well, you know, I guess that's their opinion that, Fortnite is kind of not their cup of tea anymore. And, yeah, I was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. So I actually had to grind a little bit more. I mean, it was pretty fun. And basically, this season introduced planes, which a lot of people did not like planes. I kind of agree with them because before they fixed the planes, like I was like, oh god, dude, here comes somebody in the plane who's just flying up, waiting until there's one last person. And it's like, dude, literally, you just can't fight me on the ground. You're just gonna fly around. Like, come on. Really? And yeah, like, for that season, it was okay. Because they introduced. Oh, dang, I forgot. Was it season 4 or 5 that introduced the Infinity War event? That was a fun event. I'd like to see more of those events, like with Thanos and more Marvel events. That was pretty fun. I think it was either 4 or 5. Going back to season 7, they introduced the Infinity Blade, which at first was a fun weapon. Most of my friends got on to try it, and I was talking about Rep earlier. He did not like it that much because he said that you literally just get shot at, and it's hard to like use or something. I don't know what his exact words were, but you guys get the point. I didn't like it either myself. At first I liked it, and I was like, dude, this blade sucks. And then like everybody was going for it. It's like one infinity blade. So it's like, what the point? What's the point of it? The guy's got like a ton of health, and like not only that, but like there's no way like you. Well, I was gonna say, but it's hard to kill him. Like you're not gonna just go up to the guy, shoot him with a shotgun, think he's gonna die. This guy has regenerable shield and health. Not OP. It's not OP, but still. You guys get the point. And yeah, like, and then Epic realized how broken it was, and they decided that they're like, oh yeah, the Ice King just froze the blade back over. And I swear, I think season 7's event was probably the weakest with the Ice King freezing over the whole entire island. It was fun at first, but then after a while, after seeing so much snow, it got so boring and repetitive, and I'm like, bro, when is this snow gonna melt? We don't need the snow. Like, get it out of my face. Nobody wants it. No. No, I don't want it. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't want this. I really do not want this. I don't want the snow anymore. I was like, oh God, like, get rid of that snow. Nobody needs it. And the only reason I people like this event started happening as the TV's like back in when they showed the countdown clock back at season like 4. They started showing that there was a weather front or like weather something about weather moving in towards Lucky Landing, and it was showing a picture of it like it was moving. But then eventually the snow started melting, and then the prisoner skin got out. Now let me say, out of all the skins that I've had, that prisoner skin had to be the one really creative skin by far. Like, when you think about it, it was a skin that basically unlocked about every week. I was so intrigued by the skin that I was like, I'm not gonna put off this skin. This skin I need to complete. And it was one of the not unlockable, but it was like like the blockbuster skin, but like better. Like you kept finding keys. It was really creative, and I don't know why they didn't do it for season 8, which was stupid. I'll get more onto that though. I'll get into that a little bit more. But I guess the final near not yeah, I guess the final thing in the season was that the basically the prisoner was moving around the map and unlocking his power. He was unlocking his power. So basically he was just unlocking his power along the map until he got to a ritual base thing over near Wayland Woods, which if you looked at it you could see that Wailing Woods was starting to like die. Like the grass near it was dying. Everything was dying. Like you get what I'm saying? Like you get what I'm saying, right? Like everything was dying near Wailing Woods. And I was like, wow. Like dude, look at Wayland Woods. This thing is dying right now. Now, where did it go? Oh, there it is. But no, like it was. I thought it was cold that basically Wayland Wood. I was like, whoa, what's happening in Wayland Woods? It was like another map change, and then these cracks started forming around the island, which ended up where one of the building that keeps getting destroyed got destroyed again, and then it got basically it just was like, wow, dude, got destroyed again. Like it's like, oh, I never expected that to happen, you know. And then we were like, well, we'll see what will happen at season 8. Now, the one thing I say Epic did good about the season 7 is they made it to where they had overtime challenges, which they're still doing to this day, which I think is great. Oh, I found the latest one there. Didn't know it'd be here. But I think one thing that Epic did was great is that for the overtime challenges for season 7 is they made it to where if you did not get the battle pass this season or in season 7, you can get season 8 for free if you did all the overtime challenges. I thought that was great. A lot of people, including my friends, actually did the challenges and got the battle pass, which most of the people who stopped playing Fortnite came back. And I was like, that's something great. Like Epic's doing something great here. Like, you know, they're giving the battle pass away for free, which you wouldn't think they would do, and they did. I was like, yeah, that's great. You know, maybe Epic might do it next season for overtime challenges. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, maybe they won't have overtime challenges. I was like, I don't know. A lot of people did the overtime challenges to get the free battle pass. Like, yeah, maybe they might. Maybe you're right. Maybe they won't. They won't do it. So season 8 comes, and a volcano appears. Now, back in season 3, 4, everybody was speculating there was going to be a volcano, some sort of a way. Never happened until season 8 came around. And the season 8 still focused around the Ice King and the Fire King, as everybody was calling them, or the, basically they dubbed the name Fire King because he's made out of fire. Yeah, but that's besides the point. It's more circling around the Fire King and him stealing the dragon eggs out of the Ice King's lair. But I guess when he left in season 7, and when he left out of the Ice King's, like, I'd say his castle. So yeah, that was the thing, which was really surprising. Which I was like, wow. So now there's dragons, but it wasn't a dragon, it was just a dragon skin, which I thought was pretty cool. Most of the skins in the season were okay. The pirate skin was awesome. Dragon skin was awesome. The banana skin, oh my god, dude. If if I could say one thing about the banana skin, I couldn't say one thing about it because it's so cold. I never thought I'd be able to play as a banana in Fortnite. I don't know who was asking for it, but I don't know whoever at Epic made the banana skin, but I gotta give them quotes. Dude, if you made whoever made the banana skin, you need to get like a raise or something, cause I don't know, that's just like a literal meme now. Like just seeing a banana, and they're like, "Is that a banana?" Like that's what a lot of people were talking about in season 8, or at least that's what my friends were talking about. It was like a gag skin. So that's what's made it funny. Master Key looked pretty cool. Um, the tier 100 skin now, me and my friends were talking about it. Most notably, me and Rep were talking about it. And we're like, the tier 100 skin this season is kind of not that cold, but I don't mind it. Like I said, I didn't mind it. He's like, nah, it doesn't look that good. He said, like, he didn't. He said it didn't look that good, or it didn't look as good as like the past tier 100 skins, and I do agree with him on that. Kind of like they couldn't figure out what they wanted the tier 100 skin to be that season. So it ended up where I said they had so many good tier 100 skins. John Wick, Omega, Ragnarok. Nah, maybe Ragnarok. The Wolfman was not that good. Ice King was really good. But then you have Lux. I'm gonna say Lux, and she's okay, like but she's not that good of a tier 100. Is what I'm trying to say. I see most people sporting her. I'm like, yeah, she's not that good of a tier 100 skin. Like I'd rather be rocking the Black Knight, to be honest, than Lux. But that's just my opinion. I was like, maybe that's why they gave the battle pass free. I don't know. Maybe they just did it out of the good of their heart, but I highly doubt it. So then, during the season, the big event for season 8 was the volcano eruption, which everybody should know by now. So Epic gave the players tasks to do for this season, which involved the community to work together. So when that was all done, they came out with an LTM called, what was it, Vaulted? Or not Vaulted. It had to do with the vault being open, which I thought was a okay LTM. As like they kind of learned from their past that most players would just kill each other and basically ruin the event for other people. Now I heard most people couldn't get into the event, and Epic was good and nice enough to basically, go in and let people download it to watch it, I guess, which I thought was cool. And they also gave out free gliders for the people who were in the event, I guess, or who were and weren't in the event. Thought that was nice. And so during that event, which I saw, I might upload it eventually if I haven't deleted it. Basically it's like Team Rumble until the vault opens up. Now I didn't talk that much about the vault because during the season there was a side story where there was these construction people from the like Fortnite government, and they were digging up something. They were trying to find something, but they couldn't find it until they went to Loot Lake, started digging there, and they saw a door. Now, I don't know what that door was, and they haven't even told us yet. But then they dug where Kevin was, and there was a door under Loot Lake, or like a vaulted thing under Loot Lake. Now, I was thinking, I was like, well, what does this got to do with it? Now, I heard that it has to entitle with like the gateway or like the in between, like the butterfly event, as most people dub it. And I was thinking, that makes sense, that makes sense. But at the same time, it doesn't. Like, when we went into the butterfly event, the Kevin exploded and opened up the rift. So when that rift opened, you'd think the only way getting back was through the rift. But no. No, it wasn't. Going through the rift was not the, you have to go through the door now. It's like, what? Or the, not the door, but the vault. And it's like, fine. I'll go with it. So we all went through the vault, and the community voted on which gun they wanted to bring back. I wanted the TAC SMG to come back, to be honest with you. Most people wanted the drum gun to come back. And I think Epic kind of noticed this because there was a big forum on Reddit that people wanted the drum gun to come back. So like, you know what? Let's let them vote. And one thing you do in a games community is you never let them vote, or you never let them vote. Or at least from what I know of games, I've never seen a game let people vote. It's a genius idea, but there's some people that don't know the repercussions of their actions, you know? I see what Fortnite did for getting the drum gun. When they got the drum gun back, the big basic thing, the repercussion of their choice of bringing the drum gun back was that Tilted Towers and Retail Row was destroyed. Two major places were destroyed, and everybody had a hissy fit about it. I'm like, this is great. I've been waiting for Tilted to be destroyed for a good long time. And people are just like, oh man, I hate Fortnite. And it's like, dude, just get over it. Tilted's destroyed. Retail's destroyed. They're making you find new spots. They're trying to make you adapt. That's what makes a gamer good, is that if you can adapt to situations. Not how good you play, not how like basically strategic you are, it's how you can adapt to situations. That's, in my opinion, being a good gamer. If you can adapt to situations. If you can adapt, then you're good. You're good. Like, you don't have to worry about Tilted and Retail being destroyed. But no, most people got in a hissy fit and like, oh, the Tilted and Retail's destroyed. And it's like, yeah, big whoop. Y'all wanted a drum gun. Y'all got the drum gun. Happy now? No, nope, they're not happy. The community was still not happy. I for one, and me and my friends were for one, is that they were happy that Tilted was destroyed. Now, the repercussions for us that we thought was happy is that Pleasant and Salty became the two major spots. Now, if you don't know, Pleasant's one of the places where even nowadays people don't go to. Like, Pleasant's kind of like a ghost town if you ever go to it in like squads or something. Sometimes that's the case. It's a great place to land at, loot, everything, but it's not as good as Tilted. So, after the whole hissy fit, the drum gun's back. Nobody likes the drum gun, or at least people are figuring out the drum gun is not good. They didn't even do anything with it. I would have rather had the planes back, and most people did not want the planes back. Heck, I wouldn't mind the Infinity Sword to come back, because getting that out of the chest would have been great. But nope, we got the drum gun back, and I was like, oh god. Nowadays, I don't really care about it, because the drum gun, they nerfed it way, way down. Like, it's doing about 23 damage, and I'm like, nah, this weapon is AIDS. It's like, you can't do anything with it. I get up close to a person and the thing, I always die with it, and I'm like, oh, no, the drum gun's trash. It's like the TAC SMG would have been better. Not only that, the TAC SMG sprays more. I'm saying TAC SMG. Or is it combat? Which one is this? Oh, that's burst. Yeah, the TAC SMG would have been better if you wanted to spray and pray. Drum gun. Now, I'd rather have the pump back, to be honest. Now, I want to get to that. I want to get to that. So, season 8 ends, and we get season 9. Now, most people started dropping off at season 9, mostly my friends, because they didn't give us the free battle pass. Most of my friends said they weren't going to get it, or at least some of them said they weren't going to get it. And that's agreeable. That's agreeable. Like Epic gives season 8 out for free, but it's like y'all ain't gonna give season 9 out. Like, what kind of crazy people are you? You know. I guess the reason they didn't make it free is because if they were to make all the battle passes free, then it ended up being that you couldn't, like, basically you wouldn't they wouldn't be making money off of it. That's a smart choice. Like, they usually make the money off the battle passes or like the skins in the shop, but I say mostly they get the money off the skins in the shop. You know, makes perfect sense. That's where they come from. So yeah, I mean, they could have made the season free, but they didn't. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it. But when I say that most people were like not happy about it, or at least I went on YouTube, I was like the other day, to look up and see if anybody was ranting about this season. And there's a lot of people who were ranting. Mostly some people who are still in a hissy fit about the drum gun. Not gonna mention any YouTubers' names because then I don't want to be called out by them. But they were hissy fitting about the drum guns back, which I don't really care about, to be honest. The drum gun, I don't care if the drum gun's back. It's an okay weapon. They were okay with Mega Mall, but then Neo tilted. Now, Neo tilted, I'm okay with. Tilted's back. Most people don't go to Pleasant anymore. I'm happy. Like, I'm okay with that. And most people were just not happy with Neo Tilted. Most people didn't like the name of Neo Tilted. And I was like, why? And they'd say, well, it's not alliteration. Well, at least Rep said it was not alliteration. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like Tilted Towers, Anarchy, what I forgot the name of that place. Retail Row, Salty Springs, Snobby Shores. It's all alliterations, but Neo Tilted doesn't have alliterations, and I see why most people are turned off by it. Like, it's like basically, I don't know why they named it that. Neo is in definition sometimes used as new. So then new tilted. Why call it Neo tilted then? Why not just say new tilted? Or like new tilted towers? So it would still have the alliteration. I don't know why Epic made that choice, but they made the choice for some reason to make it that way. So yeah, I wasn't too keen on Neo Tilted, but I'm okay with it now. It's basically just Tilted, but better, in my opinion. And so far this season right now, at the start it was a little shaky having the drum gun back. Most people were dogging on the game. Heck, most of my friends have stopped playing, or at least stopped playing as much as they've played Fortnite. And I could see the case why they would. We've already had 9 seasons, and Epic really hasn't. Well, they've been patching the game and giving more stuff out, but there's game-breaking glitches that need to be addressed, and they're not addressing it. Like, hey, there's a glitch where you could shoot through the wall. You could shoot through a wall in the competitive scene. So think about it. You're just you're in a tournament, and the next thing you know, you build, and then they shoot through the wall. Like that's a little messed up. I don't know if that glitch is fixed or not, but if it isn't, Epic, you need to get to work on that. Like next update, that needs to be fixed. I think they fixed it to the point, but I highly doubt it. But that's besides the point. Mostly this season, like I said at first, I did not like it. Most people were playing dirty. They still play dirty. Ran into like basically sweats. I tell you, sweats, and basically, oh my god, dude, if you still sweat at Fortnite, you need to stop, dude. Stop taking Fortnite so seriously. If you're gonna sweat, at least go in the tournament and sweat. Don't go in a normal game and then start sweating. Like, it doesn't make sense. If I was a sweat, I'd go into the competitive Fortnite, not normal Fortnite, you know? Like in like a normal squad. I get what they're doing, but they could do it in so many other places. They could do it in playground, creative, like they could sweat other places. Like that guy, he could probably sweat on playground and then go into like arena. But that's besides the point, And then the weapons that came out for the season. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention the season 8 weapons, which was the boom bow. My God, they need to take it out. Either nerf it or take it out, Epic. Nerf the boom bow or take it out because the boom bow is hella OP. I, for one, do not like getting shot with a boom bow. Look at that, 100 damage. You get killed when you get shot with that. But oh no, the worst, that was the worst decision Epic's made. And I get it. People would say, well, it's explosive boom bow. It's explosive, so it's supposed to do that much damage. Yeah, but when you have full shield, I wouldn't expect it to do that much damage. Like I said, I don't expect it to do that much damage when I insta-shot somebody who has full shield, full health, and they die. Like, that doesn't... That throws me off of the game, because that makes people want to basically get off, I guess that's just my point, but I don't like the boom bow. The boom bow kind of sucks. Okay? If you like the boom bow, fine. That's good on you. But I do not like the boom bow. And that's just my opinion. You don't like it, then deal with it. Like, look, not only that, but it has, like, there's that line. The only thing that Epic needs to do is make it like a sniper. Like, kind of like the aim like a sniper. Like, it shouldn't be hitting people like that. That's one thing I needed to rant about a little bit. Is, look, fine line right there. Fine line. It's a fine line. You can see exactly where your enemies is going to be. Like that. That's a little messed up. Like the boom bow, they just need to take away the line. You wouldn't have to take it out. Just take away the line. Cause that's making that not only are sweats using it, but normal players who have no skill are using it. Like, I feel like that'd make this season a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, I kinda like the boom bow. But look, that guy was using boom bow and I shot him dead. 115 damage. And then I guess people bring up, well, if you have no shield, then you don't get hit by it. But no, I've got hit with it with shield and died before. And then okay. One thing I gotta say about Season 9 is the combat shotgun. And maybe the tag, but I'm not too keen on the tag. To be honest, I'm starting to like both weapons, but I want to basically talk about what I didn't like about them before. So, at first I was okay with the combat shotgun. It was okay. The damage now I feel like is actually pretty good. Like if you don't have health, like if you don't have shield, I say it's not good. If you don't have shield, you're done with. Basically, you're screwed. You don't have shield, you're basically, and that's the definition. You get shot once with that shotgun, headshot. I don't care what it is. You die. I don't get it. I don't get it, but I get it. It's a shotgun. It's a shotgun. I was okay with it at first. Not telling me when you have like, I don't know, 100 some shield. You know, you have a good amount of stuff. Like you have a good amount of shield, and then you get shot by it, you die immediately. Like 100. Actually, nah. I don't know if I ran into that before, to be honest. But maybe that's the case. Maybe that's not the case. So, yeah. The combat shotgun at first was really OP. It was sometimes a one shot. And they took the pump out to put the combat in. Biggest mistake they made on their part. And the only reason they said that they took it out is because, like, I don't know, like 20 some percent of some people use it, like, basically, to basically not finish people off or something. I don't know what the real reason, I don't remember the real reason behind it, but I was like, like, you know, and the rep made a good point about this. He said, you know that people use the pump shotgun and then use it with another weapon to get damage off and then shoot them with another weapon. That's why people use the pump. Like a pump with a deagle. You shoot somebody with a pump and then deagle them, then they're gonna die. But nah, they vaulted the weapon and said that they were gonna basically correct the mistake to the pump or something. I forgot what it really was. That's what their big fix to it. It's like, oh, we're just gonna vault the pump and then look at our system for shotguns. And I'm like, no, you're just taking out the pump and replacing it with the combat shotgun. And in my favor, or at least in my opinion, I don't like the combat shotgun. I'd rather have the pump. Most people are like, oh, big whoop. The combat shotgun's just like the pump. And it's like, no, the sound is different. The reticle, oh my god, dude, the reticle. You can't even aim in with it because the reticle gets so like small. And it's basically like an AR from what I've heard. It's kind of like an AR. So think about shooting a shotgun and like it has 10 shots. If I ever get a combat shotgun, I'll show you how many shots you could shoot with it. I think there's one right there. Here, I'll show you how many shots this thing does before it goes out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 shots. Isn't that kind of ridiculous? Like, it's an automatic shot. Not an automatic. I said I was gonna say automatic, but it's ridiculous. Like, the tac does not do that much damage. Like, the tac doesn't do that. It doesn't hold that many shells. And it does like 70 some damage each time. Like, no, it's OP. It's an OP weapon. And most people would disagree that, oh no, it's like the pump. But it really isn't. And then the tac. So the problem I have with Epic is that they were gonna said that they were gonna restructure the pump, but then they didn't restructure the tac. I guess the tac was fine. Well, the problem is that you can be hit for 136 damage with the tac. 136 damage. That's pretty. That's basically taking your shield, if you have shield, and about 30 some of your health. And it's like, no. Like, no, dude, that's not, like, I could see a shotgun doing that much damage, but it's not consistent damage. You pick up a tac, it's like 50, 50, 30, 30, 30. But then when somebody else has the weapon, they popping off 136 some damage. Like, I think that's the problem with Epic, is that they can't make the weapon damage consistent. I actually do like that about the combat shotgun, is that the damage is consistent. It's about 70, never hits below 70. I'm happy about that. Okay, that's one thing I like about the combat shotgun over the pump and the tac. But I think they kind of been fixing the pump because I think it was in classics they've had the pump in there and it's actually been doing great damage. Okay, they fixed it where I think they fixed it to the point where it's doing decent damage, but maybe they're still looking into it. Maybe they haven't fixed it. Um, Also, when I played the classics mode, I was like, I haven't seen you in a while, pump, and it's like I missed you, pump, you know, because you know, the pump shotgun was like one of the weapons that hasn't been taken out really. And then they took it out to restructure it. And it's like, wow. So yeah, I say they might have to restructure the tac too because it's not doing consistent damage. If I pick up a shotgun, I want it to do consistent damage, not 30, not 20, not 5. I want it to be consistent. Oh, one thing about this combat shotgun is if you shoot somebody far away, it does about a high amount of damage, or it used to. Now it does about like 20 or something, which I think is good. Because you were able to shoot somebody like yards out with this thing, like it was a sniper. Like that's not how a shotgun works. Usually when you get in front of a shotgun, or if you're close up to a shotgun, the thing does massive damage. When you're far away, it hardly does damage. I don't know, that's besides the point. And then this gun right here, the scoped AR, or the tactical SAR. The tactical AR. So think of it, instead of it being an AR, it's basically the combat SMG, reskinned and everything, has a higher fire rate, okay? And not only that, but you know, you got people who spam on here with the SMGs and sweats. Like this one gun is, I won't say it's as worse, but it's probably as worse as the drum gun in my opinion. Like you look at it, it's like it's probably as worse as the combat, or the not that's like combat, yeah, the combat SMG. Like look at this. It's consistent. I don't mind it that much, to be honest. It's an okay weapon. The shadow bombs were really good. Well, I think they introduced them last season. It wasn't that bad of a weapon they introduced. And so far, I think that's all the weapons except for this weapon I have in my inventory, the burst SMG. I think it's better than the either the combat. I keep saying the combat because I really just forgot the name, or the tactical. No, yeah, it is the combat SMG. I think it's better than combat SMG. In my opinion, I think it's better because look, combat SMG you could just spray with, right? This one is OP, but it has consistent fire rate. So think of, okay, look, basically that's not, you can't spam with it. That's good. I've been wanting one of these. I've been wanting an SMG you just can't spam with. You know, something that like after a few shots you have to reload. I thought they were gonna nerf the drum gun like that, but they haven't. They've actually made it just, you could just spam with it, except it does lesser damage, which still doesn't account that it's still gonna be OP. Like that's just like, that's like saying, oh, we nerfed a shotgun, except instead of it doing more damage, it still does about 10 shots. Like no, that doesn't fix it. You have to literally look at how the shotgun works. Like the pump was great. The pump was great. One shot does massive damage, but it was not consistent. So I'm hoping they can make that damage consistent, depending on if you can pick it up. So you do massive damage with the pump. Now, like I said, the combat shotgun, it's okay now. I'm okay with it. We really haven't got into the vent part of this, but supposedly Polar Peak's gonna basically fall over and get destroyed. Something like that. And yeah. And supposedly there's going to be a monster in a limited time mode. Some people have speculated it's going to be Godzilla. I could see that being the case because there's a Godzilla movie coming out soon. Um, my friend Monteria said that it could be an octopus, but I don't see that being the case because an octopus, like, how's it? There's no water. It's not going to be able to swim. It's not going to be able to swim at all. Like, it's going to get on the ice and then just flop over and just croak. You know? But yeah, you're probably saying, well, if this is all you gotta say, like, if this is probably the end of the video, like, the end of the topic, I guess. No, that's not all I gotta say. Mostly, I want to talk about Epic, too. And then I'll end the video. So, Epic, I got a few things to say. I haven't really downloaded the Epic Store launcher. I've heard there's controversy behind it where basically it's like sharing like files or something. It has to do something with your files, which, or it's leaking files or sharing files. I think it's sharing files, like off of Steam or something. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know. I do believe that. I do believe that. But the problem is when you look at it, uh, I don't know what the real story is behind it because really I didn't listen that much to it. But that's not a good thing. Like sharing files and stuff off of like your computer, that's kind of not a good thing. Steam does not do that. I will mention that Steam does not share your data or something like that. That's why I usually use Steam, and it's a great. I'd say Steam's a pretty good platform, mini games, all that. But I haven't had the chance to try out the Epic launcher or the Epic Game Store launcher. Heard there's a lot of good games on there. They have free games every month. No, that sounds pretty good. Might try it out. But the problem is way back when, I'll say a few months ago, when I tried to enable two-step verification for Fortnite, or two-step for the Epic Store, I said Fortnite. That's probably because I'm playing it right now. But nah, when I tried to enable two-step verification, it kept messing up and wouldn't let me enable it. Now, I don't know the real reason behind it, but I tried to email or try to contact Epic and see what the problem is. And I'll tell you this. I thought Steam's customer help was bad, but no. No, I'd rather go with Steam's customer help than Epic's. Now, that's just my opinion. If you don't agree with that, but the customer help service for Epic is so bad. Was so bad. Couldn't get anybody get in touch with anybody over at Epic. And people probably say, well, it's because it's a big company now. You can't just get in contact with them. You could go to Twitter and stuff and try to get them there, but that won't work. I've tried that before, and it doesn't work. So what am I left with? I have to figure it out on my own. And one thing I'll say about EA is they have pretty good customer service, from what I heard. I guess that's the only thing they have something good about, except for their reputation. And not many people like EA. That's just the opinion, or their opinion. But one thing is, it was horrible. So eventually, I was like, let's skip this. I'm just gonna go to bed, I'll figure this out tomorrow. So basically I figured it out, or like not figured it out, but I woke up, tried again in the morning, because I was emailing, but not really emailing, but doing a subject and sending it over to like the Epic's helps thing. And either, I guess it got through or something. I don't know how. Or I guess it was because of on my end. I don't know how it was, but it worked. And yeah. But it would have been great to like, get in touch with somebody, figure out what was wrong, And yeah, I just gotta say I don't like Epic's game store's services. I don't like their services, to be honest. Compared to Steam, Steam still doesn't have that good help service. But I'd rather take Steam over Epic Games Store help service any day, to be honest. Well, heck, I'd say even EA, and I never would say that. But yeah, like I don't know what else to say except I think Epic kind of listens too much to their community. Like, if I made a game and I'd listen to the community and try to get good feedback off of them. Like, what would be good to put in a game? You know, if I was making my own game, that's what I'd do. I could listen to feedback. Like, say I made like a shooting game. Hey, dude, like, can you like add a mechanic where it fixes like the shotgun's damage rate? Yeah, yeah, I'll look into it, see what's wrong. Like, and I think this is the case because Xenoverse has probably the same problem. Is when you add more stuff in the game, it starts to slow it down, like really starts to slow it down. But I don't think that's happening in the Fortnite. Most people nowadays say that Fortnite's dying, and I don't know if that's the case, to be honest. Because if it was dying, Epic would be losing money. Most people would stop playing Fortnite. You get the point. I don't think Fortnite's dying, as most people are saying. Even my friends are saying it. I don't think it's dying because I see a ton of people still playing Fortnite nowadays. And heck, even with the new Dauntless that Epic's came out with, I'm pretty sure they're doing fine. Like. But yeah, I guess this has been my discussion slash rant, part of the series. So yeah, I guess this is all I had to say. That was on my mind. Maybe I might come up with like a extra video to this. Maybe I might come up with extra videos like extra discussion slash topic on the same thing or the same topic but like updated, or not updated, but extra stuff I forgot to add in. So yeah, if you did like the video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe. um I also want to say, because I haven't said this, well, I've said it a little while back, but thank you guys who've been subscribed. Like, I wouldn't have made it here without you guys. You guys are great. And yeah, this is the extraordinary uh, basically saying he's signing out right now. Well, I'm signing out basically. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day. I like to bring a little bit of joy into you guys' life if you don't have any of the joy. Like, if you're having through hard times or, you know, need help on something. I always like to brighten people's days. So yeah, this is the extraordinary Saiyan. Signing out. Peace, dog.